Welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers Channel. Today, we will learn about the dramatic events unfolding on Thursday, December 25th in Port Charles, where the holiday season brings unexpected confrontations, emotional reckonings, and stunning discoveries that will shake several families to their core. Jack Brennan's power play against Britt Westburn. The tension between Jack Brennan and Dr. Britt Westburn reaches a critical turning point as Brennan intensifies his campaign to force the talented physician into cooperation with the World Security Bureau. The determined operative appears laser-focused during a crucial phone conversation, his voice cutting through the tension as he demands to know whether his team is prepared to escalate their pressure tactics against the defiant doctor. Brennan's question carries an ominous weight that suggests he's prepared to take extreme measures if Britt continues to resist his demands. The complex standoff between these two strong-willed individuals has been building for weeks, with Brennan attempting to leverage every resource at his disposal to bring Britt under the WSB's control. However, Dr. Westburn has proven to be far more resilient than he anticipated, refusing to bend to his authority without receiving substantial compensation for her cooperation. Her primary demand remains unwavering. She wants her medical license fully restored, a credential that represents not only her professional identity, but her ability to practice the medicine that defines her very existence. Brennan finds himself at a crossroads, faced with the difficult decision of whether to grant Britt's request and secure her cooperation through compromise, or to double down on his threatening approach and risk pushing her further away. The WASB operative's determination suggests he may be willing to offer what Britt seeks, but his history of manipulation and control leaves open the possibility that he'll attempt to strong-arm her into submission through increasingly aggressive tactics. This high-stakes negotiation could determine the direction of several major storylines in the coming weeks, making Brennan's next move absolutely critical to the unfolding drama. Lucas Jonas steps in as peacemaker, recognizing the destructive nature of the ongoing conflict between Brennan and Britt. Lucas Jonas decides to intervene in the escalating situation, positioning himself as an unexpected mediator in this tense standoff. When he encounters Britt at General Hospital, Lucas takes the opportunity to engage her in a candid conversation about the importance of finding common ground and establishing at least a temporary truce. His diplomatic approach reflects his growing maturity and his desire to see conflicts resolved through communication rather than continued hostility. Lucas makes a compelling argument for a ceasefire, emphasizing that the ongoing battle between Britt and the WSB operative serves no one's interests and only creates additional stress in an already complicated situation. He reminds Britt that cooperation doesn't necessarily mean capitulation, and that finding ways to work together could actually strengthen her bargaining position rather than weaken it. His words carry particular weight because Lucas has no hidden agenda. His concern appears genuinely rooted in wanting to see a peaceful resolution that benefits everyone involved. Portia's fears about losing Trina forever. Meanwhile, Portia Robinson finds herself consumed by anxiety and self-doubt as she contemplates the potentially irreparable damage she's caused to her relationship with her beloved daughter, Trina. The revelation of Portia's involvement with Isaiah Gannon during the court proceedings has created a massive breach of trust that Portia fears may be impossible to heal. Standing alone with her thoughts, she questions whether she's engaging in self-deception by hoping that Trina might eventually find it in her heart to forgive the deception that has hurt her so deeply. The weight of Portia's mistakes bears down on her with crushing force as she replays the moment when her secret involvement was exposed in the courtroom. She remembers the look of betrayal on Trina's face, the shock and disappointment that radiated from her daughter's eyes when the truth came to light. Portia wonders if there's any path forward that could lead to reconciliation, or if she's permanently destroyed the foundation of trust that once made their mother-daughter bond so special and strong. Her fears are compounded by the knowledge that Trina is at a critical juncture in her own life, navigating complex relationships and making important decisions about her future. Portia recognizes that her timing couldn't have been worse, and that her deception has come at a moment when Trina needed her mother to be a source of stability and honesty rather than confusion and betrayal. The question now becomes whether love and family ties can overcome such a significant breach of trust. Trina's attempt at reconciliation. On the other side of this emotional equation, Trina Robinson makes her own efforts to repair damaged relationships, though her focus extends beyond just her mother. Having spent considerable time processing her feelings about Jordan Ashford and the complicated dynamics surrounding her parents' situation, Trina begins to recognize that she may have been too harsh in her judgment of Jordan. The young woman realizes that she's been treating Jordan as if she were a homewrecker, when the reality of the situation is far more nuanced and complicated than she initially understood. Trina's decision to reach out and apologize to both Curtis Ashford and Jordan Ashford represents a significant moment of growth and maturity. She acknowledges that her anger and hurt feelings caused her to lash out at people who didn't necessarily deserve her harsh treatment. The apology doesn't come easily. Trina has to swallow her pride and admit that she allowed her emotions to cloud her judgment. However, her willingness to take this step demonstrates her capacity for self-reflection and her understanding that relationships require ongoing effort and occasional course corrections. The conversation with Curtis and Jordan will likely be emotionally charged, filled with the kind of raw honesty that can either strengthen relationships or expose their weaknesses. Trina's vulnerability in this moment could open the door to deeper understanding among all parties involved, creating an opportunity for healing that extends beyond surface-level pleasantries to genuine emotional connection. Nina and Liesl's Christmas Eve celebration. Despite the chaos surrounding Willow Kane's trial and the numerous challenges facing the Corinthos family, Nina Reeves and Liesl Obrecht find reasons to embrace the holiday spirit and celebrate the miracles that have blessed their lives. The two women come together on Christmas Eve, sharing a special moment of joy and gratitude that stands in stark contrast to the legal drama threatening to tear Nina's family apart. For Obrecht, the return of her children from what she believed was permanent loss represents nothing short of a Christmas miracle. The reunion with family members she thought were gone forever fills her heart with an overwhelming sense of thanksgiving and wonder. She refuses to let the darkness of recent events overshadow the gift of having her loved ones back in her life, choosing instead to focus on the precious opportunity to create new memories with those she holds most dear. Nina, meanwhile, draws strength from the fact that Willow has finally opened her heart and allowed Nina back into her life after so much time spent in the cold. This reconciliation with her daughter means everything to Nina, who has longed for acceptance and connection with Willow for what feels like an eternity. The knowledge that Willow is finally willing to give their relationship a genuine chance provides Nina with hope and purpose, even as the trial threatens to complicate everything. Together, Nina and Liesl toast to family, forgiveness, and the unexpected blessings that make life worth living. Valentin's secret hideout discovered. In perhaps the most dramatic development of the episode, Valentin Casadin's carefully constructed hiding place in Carly's attic faces an unexpected threat when young Donna Corinthos stumbles upon his secret sanctuary. Valentin has been maintaining a low profile in this unconventional location, even going so far as to create a cozy atmosphere by decorating a small Christmas tree to mark the holiday season. His private celebration represents both a touch of normalcy and a stark reminder of how far he's fallen from his previous position of power and influence. Valentin certainly isn't expecting company when Donna suddenly bursts through the attic door, her curiosity having gotten the better of her. The preview footage captures the moment perfectly: Donna's hand turning the doorknob, the door swinging open, and Valentin's expression shifting from relaxation to absolute shock as he realizes his cover has been blown by the most innocent of intruders. The stunning discovery puts both Valentin and Carly in an extremely precarious position, now faced with the challenge of managing a child who has discovered a fugitive hiding in her home. Valentin must think quickly and creatively. He may attempt to spin an imaginative story, perhaps suggesting to Donna that he's one of Santa's special helpers who needs to hide in the attic to prepare secret Christmas surprises. This kind of whimsical explanation could potentially satisfy a young child's curiosity while maintaining the secrecy that both he and Carly desperately need. Carly will soon find herself taking a significant gamble as she attempts to manage the fallout from Donna's discovery. When Carly learns what her daughter has seen, she'll need to make some quick decisions about how to handle the situation. Her most likely approach will involve persuading Donna to keep quiet about Valentin's presence, framing the secret as something special and important that must be protected. The success of Carly and Valentin's hidden alliance may ultimately depend on whether a young child can successfully keep such a significant secret from the rest of the family. A risky proposition at best. Sonny's fatherly advice to Dante. At the Corinthos residence, Sonny takes time to offer his son Dante some valuable guidance regarding his growing relationship with Giovanni Joe Palmieri. Sonny, drawing from his extensive experience as a father to multiple children, recognizes that Dante is at a critical juncture in establishing his bond with Joe. He encourages Dante to demonstrate through consistent actions that he's genuinely committed to being present in Gio's life, emphasizing that words alone won't build the trust and connection that a father-son relationship requires. Sonny's advice carries particular weight given his own complicated history with fatherhood and the various challenges he's faced in maintaining relationships with his children over the years. He knows firsthand that showing up consistently, keeping promises, and making a young person feel valued and important are the building blocks of strong family bonds. His guidance to Dante reflects both his wisdom and his desire to see his son succeed where he himself has sometimes struggled. The conversation between father and son could mark a turning point in Dante's approach to his relationship with Joe, inspiring him to take more proactive steps to demonstrate his commitment and reliability. As the holiday season continues, Sonny will also embrace the spirit of giving by dressing as Santa Claus for a special visit to Laura Collins' home, bringing joy and cheer to the mayor's household in a heartwarming display of community and family spirit. Cody's package panic. Finally, Cody Bell finds himself in an unexpected state of distress over a mysteriously delayed package that has him flipping out with anxiety and frustration. His reaction suggests this isn't just any ordinary delivery. Whatever is contained in this package clearly holds significant importance. Whether it's a carefully selected gift for someone special or an item crucial to plans he's been making. The most likely scenario involves a gift intended for Molly Lansing Davis, though the possibility remains open that Cody's stress relates to someone else entirely. The timing of the delay couldn't be worse, arriving just as the holiday celebrations reach their peak. Cody's panic mode indicates that he's genuinely invested in whatever this package represents, and its late arrival threatens to disrupt plans he's been carefully orchestrating. His maximum stress levels suggest that resolving this delivery crisis will become a priority that drives his actions in the coming episodes. Next, we will learn about the issue of Brad Cooper's unexpected return to Port Charles and the explosive drama that's about to unfold in the most unpredictable ways imaginable. The prodigal troublemaker has made his way back into town, and longtime fans of the show know that whenever Brad shows up, chaos isn't far behind. The burning question on everyone's mind is whether he's simply here to add a little spice to the already simmering tension, or if he's planning to turn up the heat until everything boils over completely. His presence alone is enough to send shockwaves through the community, especially considering the circumstances surrounding his last departure from Port Charles. Brad's complicated history. The last time viewers caught a glimpse of Brad Cooper, he was packing his bags and preparing to leave town in what could only be described as disgrace. His exit came hot on the heels of yet another devastating rejection from the one person he never stopped loving, Dr. Lucas Jones. Despite Brad's genuine efforts to transform himself into a better man, someone worthy of the love and respect Lucas once freely gave him, his attempts fell painfully short of the mark. Brad tried everything within his power to demonstrate that he had changed, that the mistakes of his past no longer defined who he was in the present. He worked on himself, sought to make amends, and truly believed he could win back the heart of the man who meant everything to him. Unfortunately, Lucas maintained impossibly high standards when it came to giving Brad another chance, standards that Brad simply couldn't reach no matter how hard he stretched himself. The rejection stung deeply, leaving Brad with no choice but to accept defeat and leave Port Charles behind, nursing his wounded pride and broken heart. A shift in Lucas's standards. Now that Brad has returned, the landscape looks remarkably different from when he left. Lucas Jones, the man who once held Brad to such elevated expectations, appears to have significantly adjusted his criteria for what makes an acceptable romantic partner. His current relationship choices suggest a notable departure from the rigid principles he applied to Brad during their tumultuous reconciliation attempts. This dramatic shift raises an intriguing possibility. Will Lucas finally see Brad through a more forgiving lens now that his own standards have evolved? The odds might still be stacked against Brad, but there's a glimmer of hope that could change the entire dynamic between them. If Brad plays his strategy perfectly and manages to illuminate the glaring problems in Lucas's current relationship, particularly regarding what Marco Rios is doing wrong, Lucas might begin to recognize Brad's genuine qualities in comparison. The contrast could work heavily in Brad's favor, especially if he approaches the situation with wisdom rather than desperation. The catastrophic fall of a marriage. The relationship between Lucas and Brad didn't just end. It imploded spectacularly in what historians of Port Charles drama will forever remember as one of the most catastrophic breakups the town has ever witnessed. Their marriage, which once seemed so full of promise and genuine affection, crumbled under the weight of an unforgivable betrayal that rocked them both to their cores. The catalyst for their destruction was Brad's unconscionable decision to conceal a devastating truth from his husband. When their adopted infant tragically died from sudden infant death syndrome, Brad made a choice that would haunt both of them for years to come. Instead of grieving honestly with Lucas and facing the unbearable loss together, Brad took it upon himself to secretly replace their deceased child with Wiley Corinthos, essentially stealing another family's baby to cover up the death. This deception went beyond typical lies or infidelity. It represented a fundamental violation of trust that Lucas could never forgive or forget. The revelation destroyed not just their marriage, but also Lucas's ability to believe in anything Brad said or did. For Lucas, this represented a bridge burned so thoroughly that no amount of time or apologies could ever rebuild it. Lucas's journey of healing. Following the collapse of his marriage and the exposure of Brad's horrifying secret, Lucas made the difficult but necessary decision to leave Port Charles entirely. He needed distance from the memories, from Brad, and from everything that reminded him of the life he thought he was building. Those years away from town served as a crucial healing period, allowing Lucas to rediscover himself and process the trauma of betrayal. Now he's back in Port Charles, determined to live his best life and move forward with confidence and hope. He's dating again, opening his heart to new possibilities, and genuinely trying to find happiness once more. However, Brad's sudden return threatens to complicate this fresh start in ways Lucas probably didn't anticipate. Lucas has every right to worry that Brad's presence might interfere with his current relationship and general peace of mind. His concerns are entirely justified given their history, but the reality of how Brad might disrupt things may prove very different from what Lucas is imagining. The interference might not come from jealous sabotage or dramatic confrontations, but rather from uncomfortable truths about Lucas's current partner that only Brad has the motivation to uncover. The dynamic duo returns. Brad Cooper has always operated from a predictable emotional playbook when it comes to Lucas's romantic life. He absolutely despises anyone who dares to date his ex-husband. This jealousy runs deep and colors every interaction Brad has ever had with Lucas's subsequent partners. Is Brad envious and possessive? Absolutely. And there's one person in Port Charles who understands these complex feelings better than anyone else: Britt Westburn, Brad's former partner in crime and eternal best friend. The timing of their simultaneous return to town feels almost too coincidental to ignore. Both Brad and Britt have made their way back to Port Charles at the exact same moment, and Britt is well on her way to reclaiming her position as a respected doctor at General Hospital. This reunion of chaos agents promises to deliver entertainment and drama in equal measure. Fans can easily imagine late-night sessions at the hospital laboratory where Brad and Britt will huddle together with multiple pints of Ben and Jerry's ice cream, dissecting every detail of their respective romantic situations. They'll undoubtedly spend hours analyzing Lucas's new relationship and Britt's complicated feelings for Jason Morgan, trading insights and commiserating over their unlucky love lives. These sessions will provide both comic relief and genuine emotional depth, showcasing the strength of their friendship. However, the real significance of their reunion extends far beyond ice cream therapy and gossip sessions. What viewers should pay particular attention to is the inevitable moment when Britt decides to confide in Brad about her recent activities and discoveries. As her most trusted confidant, Brad will learn everything Britt has been doing since she left Port Charles, including her time in Croatia and her investigations since returning to American soil. These revelations could prove crucial to the unfolding drama, dangerous intel, and hidden agendas. If Britt shares with Brad her knowledge that Marco Rios is hiding dangerous secrets and isn't the upstanding citizen he pretends to be, how will Brad weaponize that information to destroy Lucas's current romance? The possibilities are both exciting and concerning. Marco has successfully maintained a carefully constructed facade of innocence and respectability, but the truth beneath the surface tells a much darker story. He's far from an innocent bystander to the criminal activities of his father, the notorious Jen Sidwell. Marco has willingly participated in his father's violent empire, involving himself in schemes that include cold fusion technology manipulation for nefarious purposes. His hands are dirty with blackmail, extortion, and even murder, crimes that would horrify Lucas if he ever discovered the full extent of Marco's involvement. Marco has inherited his father's cunning nature and has covered his tracks with impressive skill, exactly as you'd expect from Jen Sidwell's son. The evidence has been carefully hidden or destroyed, making it nearly impossible for anyone to prove Marco's complicity in these serious crimes. Brad's impossible challenge. This presents Brad with an extraordinarily difficult challenge. How can he possibly expose Marco's criminal connections and violent past without appearing to be nothing more than a jealous ex-husband trying to sabotage Lucas's happiness? The optics of this situation are terrible for Brad from every angle. If he comes forward with accusations against Marco, Lucas will almost certainly assume Brad is lying out of jealousy and desperation. Even if Brad presents evidence, Lucas might dismiss it as fabricated or manipulated because of their history. Brad has never demonstrated the kind of integrity and selflessness required to expose Marco's crimes without seeming self-serving. Throughout his time in Port Charles, Brad has consistently chosen deception and manipulation over honesty and transparency. His track record doesn't inspire confidence that he can suddenly pull off such a delicate operation with the necessary finesse and moral authority. The situation demands that Brad act with unprecedented maturity and strategic thinking. He needs to find a way to bring Marco's criminal activities to light without making it appear personal or vindictive. Perhaps he'll need to work through intermediaries or carefully plant evidence where others will find it naturally. He might need to sacrifice his own desires for Lucas's safety, proving through actions rather than words that he's genuinely changed. This could be Brad's opportunity for redemption, a chance to show Lucas that he's capable of putting someone else's well-being above his own jealous impulses. The question remains whether Brad has evolved enough as a person to accomplish this nearly impossible task. Can he expose a dangerous criminal without appearing to be the jealous ex-boyfriend everyone will assume he is? Will he find the courage and wisdom to do the right thing even if it doesn't benefit him personally? Only time will reveal whether Brad Cooper has truly learned from his mistakes and grown into someone capable of such selfless heroism. Here's to hoping he rises to the occasion. Would you like me to adjust the tone to be more dramatic or add specific plot predictions?